tonight, a very special guest, Helen Rosenthal. Right? I get it right?
You got it right. It's so great to be here.
Thank
I
you
really appreciate
so
your
much
having me on.
coming. Nominee for City Council, a Democrat.
Yes.
I make that very clear. Very interesting. Like I said, I did my homework, obviously, as I always do, but it's remarkable to see your devotion to the public service over 20 years, right? That's a long time.
It is a
It's
long
a
time.
long time.
Well, I like what I do.
But you love what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Every step of the way, I've enjoyed the work that I've done. When I worked in City Hall, when I worked on the community board, when I worked on the different boards of the different organizations, from NARAL to Strikers Bay, helping with affordable housing, to Parent JobNet, helping public school parents find jobs. It's great work. I mean, who wouldn't love it?
Yeah, but it's demanding, it's taxing, it's difficult. It could be frustrating too, right? To a certain degree.
It can be. I mean, I think one reason I enjoy the work that I do, as is the case probably for most people who love what they do, is that you can see results.
Right.
So if you have some good tools in your backpack, and you can put those tools together in the right way, you can actually get results, and one good result begets another. So it can feel very exciting.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Let's talk a little bit about your background. I'm
Sure.
kind of interested about your family, your mom, your dad, growing up. How you decided, I want to do this. This is exactly what I want to do.
Oh, wow. So I'm not sure it was my path was as clear as it might be for other people. I grew up in a middle-class suburb of Detroit called Livonia. My father was the community librarian, so on weekends, my brothers and I, when the library was closed, we would play hide and seek in the stacks. So I have a real love of books and education. My mother was a teacher. She was getting her PhD while I was in school, and then she taught in her adult life, which was very exciting to be around that. And that's really, it was those two things that did shape my background, and living in a community where, people had real jobs. They worked for Ford, or they worked for UAW, and barbershops and the gas station. They were real people, just getting through the day the best they could. And that was the environment I grew up with, and that's the type of person that I like to work very hard for.
I love that.
To make their lives, a little bit better.
It's so needed. It's so needed, because we were talking before the show, and it's overwhelming to see what's going on everywhere, and it's sad and it's concerning. Where are we heading? This is so difficult. What a big challenge for everybody who's in office. How are you going to make it work? How we can make things better? Right? For the working class, we already know the rich seem to have a break here and everywhere, because corporations, they seem to rule the world. Very sadly, but it seems to be true. And it seems like the middle class is
often left out of the equation.
Right.
I mean, that's what makes this point in history so exciting. I'm fully expecting Bill de Blasio to win on Election Day, and for his vision of helping working families, helping working people and the middle class, and bringing equity for them.
Right.
And to the extent to which my background and my skill set and my passion can help along with that vision, I'm thrilled to be able to be a part of it. I think we can, with Bill as the leader, with the city council that's coming in. I mean, 20 new freshmen on the city council.
That's exciting.
21, extremely exciting. And these are smart, dedicated people who, have some very wise people who have been in government to guide them along. And so it's an exciting time. I'm hopeful. I think we really can make a difference.
Yeah, well, yes, you will. Now, let's talk about your agenda on the daily basis. How does that work? When you get up in the morning, what do you do? Because I know that your hands are full, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have your husband, you have your teenager daughters?
Yes, two
Correct?
teenage. Well, I can't say that anymore. I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. She's not a teenager.
Yeah,
She's
but they're young
young
babies.
Lady. They're both grown young women who are so smart and compassionate themselves. And I have to say, my family, if I can just jump in for a minute to do a plug for my family,
who are always there for you,
they were there for me 100%. And, you know, as a woman in politics, it's often so hard, you know, where the demands are, you know, just by definition greater. You know, most women they do have a family. There are expectations that the woman will be the one who brings the kid to the doctors.
Is the glue, like you said.
Is the glue.
Is the glue. I remember that.
That's right. It's true. And it's the reason why probably, you know, women are not even half of their numbers in government, despite the fact that, you know, women are half the population. We're not represented equally in government. This year in the City Council, the number of women went down from 18 out of the 51 members down to 15. So now we're less than 25%. And that's very discouraging. You know, I'd like to see more women in government. I'd like to see a women's perspective, someone who understands the demands of being a mother, being a wife, of being the glue to the family, to have those individuals in government making sure that what we do as a government helps to support women who, just by definition of where we are in history, do play that role. But anyway, what I was talking about was my family, because I am very fortunate to have a husband who really stepped up and was helping my younger daughter, who's still home and in high school, helping her with homework, and is now helping her with the college process, helping my older daughter think about how she's doing in her college career. And I'm lucky, and I'm grateful, very grateful.
Blessed.
Very blessed. And also, you know, I am wise enough, I mean, I have teenagers as opposed to politicians who have younger children, but I was wise enough to know not to involve my family in my campaign. You know, the campaign was really my thing, and not theirs. Had they chosen to be interested and involved, you know, of course I'd welcome them, but they have their own lives. You know, my daughter is enjoying college and getting the most out of it, and I want her to be doing that. That's her job now. And same with my younger daughter, with my 17-year-old. You know, her life is just at the beginning. She's taking off. Why should she, you know, be involved in my campaign? Anyway, we don't have to talk about that anymore. But,
I like the fact that, because it's something that you have to be blessed, because it's part of the equation, right?
Exactly.
You come home, and you have your husband, you have your daughters, you have your life, you have your concerns.
That's right. And meanwhile, they gave me the space to do what I wanted to do and what I needed to do at this point in my career.
What you love to do.
I got lucky. I worked full-time before I had children, and you know, was able to have a full career, and was lucky in that respect. And then similarly was lucky to be able to not have a full-time job when my children were younger, so I could give them more of my time. But I've always been engaged in my community, and
yes, you are. You talk to the people. You get out there. You ride your bike.
I love
know
people.
You love people. They, you know, bottom line, I think what comes down to is that we need love, but we make that connection when we know that that person on TV, she's real. When that politician, when that lady who's running for the Senate, with that woman who's running for this, that guy, oh, yeah, he's real. He or she, they care.
Very much so. And I think what it takes is really the ability to listen to people. To be able to, what's the word for it? To be able to tolerate or be able to be at peace with other people's difficulties and hear it and really hear what they're saying. What do they tell
you when people that come to you on the daily basis, when they express their concerns? What do they say to you?
Well, it's serious. You know, there are people in public school, parents who I've worked with for years who have been out of work, haven't been able to find a job, get back into the workforce. You know, people who are smart and educated, and there's no reason for them not to have a job except for the fact that the economy's not big enough to accommodate them, you know, in their fields. People who are living in conditions that no one should live in. You know, when I am in my friends' homes who live in NYCHA, who live in the projects, you know, there's no excuse for their living conditions. There's no excuse for they're not having enough money for after-school programs or having daycare and nurseries available on site in the NYCHA facilities, except for the fact that the money's not there. The heart is there. People want to be doing more, but they're told that the money's not there. And given my background in the city's budget office,
for 7 years you worked?
7 years under 3 different mayors, and you know, I'm not convinced it's true. You know, I feel like as I start to peel back the onion, you know, there's
I think peel back the onion.
I think there's more mismanagement than meets the eye. And you know, I'm sure people in those jobs are doing their best and trying very hard and care very deeply. I know several of the commissioners at NYCHA, and I know they care passionately about NYCHA, but the funding there just doesn't pass the smell test, you know. When we read in the paper that there's $600 million missing,
people say, where's the money?
Where's the money?
Where is the money?
I share their concern. You know, during Sandy, you know, we're now remembering Hurricane Sandy a year ago. You know, I jumped in and helped out in the Rockaways and heard about all their concerns and went there every day trying to help out at the different centers. And you know, as is usual for me, I heard about one small thing that I thought I could take care of, which was getting people body warmers. And I was able to call into the mayor's office, find the right person, get access to the Mayor's Action Fund, and order 160,000, is that the right number? I think it was more, maybe it was 320,000. I'm not remembering the exact number, but it was a great quantity of body warmers to help people. These would be 24-hour body warmers where people could leave them on their chest, you know, not like the regular body warmers that you wear, you know, at a football game. But these are the ones that you can put on your body, particularly for the frail elderly, being the difference between life and death. You know, so you could have some sort of heat system in these homes where they had no heating for months at a time.
It's insane.
And so I was able to access the body warmers and then distribute them through the Department of Aging, most importantly, at the distribution centers. I found a way to get, again, I forget the exact number, it was something like 30,000 body warmers to NYCHA. And I tried very hard to deliver them to the individual NYCHA facilities and go door to door. But there are so many, you know, I'm not the right person to do it, you know. So, and how many resources did I have? But NYCHA said, oh, we'll gladly take them, bring them to our distribution center in Long Island City. And, you know, I didn't want to do it because I didn't have confidence that they would be distributed from their distribution center. And today, a year ago, you know, I distributed them a year ago, 30,000 body warmers. And, you know, I would like to go back to NYCHA, to the distribution center today, and I would like to not see them there. And I have hope that they're not at the distribution center, that they were actually given to residents. But I don't really have the confidence that that happened. That's mismanagement. So
that's well said.
Despite a good heart and
but
good intentions,
good heart is not enough.
And
good intentions are not good
enough.
It's not enough.
That's right. And I'm not convinced the systems were in place or are in place for those to get distributed to the people who really need them. And that I learned from the work in my own community. and you know, the systems that I see in place. The tenant leaders on the Upper West Side in NYCHA, they have hearts of gold, they have passion.